So where were we? So we discussed about Satoshi and Hal Finney regarding Bitcoin and breaking down Bitcoin's technologies, which were earlier used by Phil Zimmerman and Adam Back in their respective projects. We also discussed about public and private key extensively and Hashcash model. So let's combine all of them and move ahead. Let's summarize and see how Satoshi used the above technologies in his software. Each user can have one or more addresses, like a bank account number. He uses public and private key technology where the public key is the bank account number and the private key is the password. It was enough to authorize a transaction without any third party intervention. Earlier, banks were required to authorize whether the person making the transaction was the right person. Once authorization is done, that message is sent to everyone in the Bitcoin network, where all other computers are connected. The first job is to check whether the person was the actual owner of the coin. First, let us understand what a ledger is. Every company has a chartered accountant who manages all the transactions for the company, but a copy of that ledger is with him. This structure is centralized. But in Bitcoin software, every computer connected to the network has a copy of the ledger. All these copies are connected with each other and are updated at the same time. So each computer checks in its ledger if the person has the coin. After verifying that the person is the actual owner, every computer is given a mathematical problem that Adam designed. The computer that came first to solve the problem will be given the authority to add transactions to the ledger. Eventually, he will add a block to the existing blocks, hence the name blockchain. This is the block where all the transaction is written. For winning the race and providing service to add transactions, computers were rewarded with Bitcoin for their service. This motivated the people to take part in the recording of transactions. So, when we were discussing about Hashcash, it faced two problems. One was portability, and the other one was scarcity. Since everything was written in public ledger, verification of the ownership of those coins were easy. Also, since it's a code, transferring of the ownership of those coins were easy as well. So the problem of portability was taken care of. Okay, even if it's a code, we know that the other person owns those coins. Also, public and private key technology helped in keeping those coins safe. Correct. Absolutely correct. The second problem was scarcity. To maintain the scarcity, software was written in such a way that after each block, 50 coins would be released after the first 4 years and 25 coins after the next 4 years. So, after every 4 years, the reward amount will reduce by 50% until 21 million coins are in the system. After that point, new coin generation will stop. Okay, even though you explained the ecosystem, they must have faced a lot of issues, right? I mean, it's a code. Remember, it's computers, it's man-made. Okay, indirectly you want to know the loopholes or problems that they faced. Yes, for my peace of mind. Possible loophole number one. What if there are two claims? One says Gautam's computer is the one that won the race. Other claim says Mr. Singh's computer won the race. Over here, a democratic process is used. If the majority says Gautam's computer is the winner, then Gautam's name will be written on the ledger and Mr. Singh's claim will be ignored. What if Mr. Singh tampers with the software by changing the ledger transactions in his copy? The problem with this is that the tampered software should be installed in the majority of the systems. Since they have original data, they will reject the claim and the computer trying to scam will be ignored. If you remember, the essential requirement of the currency was faith. As you can see, the ledger security is taken care of. These provide faith to the people to consider this as legitimate currency. I have another loophole for you. At the start of the network, somebody could have hijacked the software and taken control of the coins by manipulating the democratic process. So, you mean that when there were only 10, 20, or 30 computers connected in total, and since they are less in numbers, it would have been easy to manipulate? Yeah, I mean, it would have been easier to overtake, no? See, at that time, the idea of having universal currency in digital form was so out of imagination of the people that they did not even believe it was possible to exist. So there was no incentive to overtake such an early stage. See, you are looking at Bitcoin at current market price and trying to imagine how it would have been lucrative of people to steal. But at that time, it was just a normal software. Ah, sneaky. The picture is not over. In fact, it just started. They are fighting a battle with the government and the central authorities. Because of complexities of the problems solved by the computer, a lot of electricity will be used to add transaction to the blockchain. And most importantly, even though a product is worthy of having faith, they are fighting against the idea of control. Since the start of civilization, everyone knows that there is someone who is in charge of managing things. But this is a new concept where a computer manages things protected by democracy and no single person or country has control. Completely decentralized. I am so ready for this journey. Do you believe Hal Finney's contribution was immense in all these things? The guy has given his blood and life to this technology. Hal Finney's health deteriorated as he was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. It was a degenerative condition that would gradually cause his muscles to wither away inside his body. As a result, evolution of Bitcoin was in danger. What the